fractions to radicals. Okay? Right here, the square root of something is saying the 1/2 power. Now, we don't write the little 2 out there, right? But it is, that's where a 2 would be. We don't write the 2 because that's the most commonly occurring one. But if you ever see this, that's the 3rd root. You see that? That's the 4th root. Once we get past 2, we put the numbers there. We just don't write the 2 for square root, most likely because we use square roots so often that it's just commonly accepted. Just like we don't put a 1 in front of an x, and we don't put a 1 for the exponent, because it's just understood. It's x. But technically, every variable is 1x to the 1, 1y to the 1. We just don't write it that way. And for square roots, we don't write the 2 there. We just write that. Okay? But you got to understand that that 2 is there. The reason I'm telling you to do that is because if you think about that, you know that 2 is there, we don't write it. And we know that there's a 1 here that we don't write. That's where this 1/2 comes from. So this m right here is the 1. This n is the 2. That's why x to the m over n is the same as the radical. Hopefully. And you can write it either one of 2 ways, like this or like this. So the m can be the exponent of the letter, or this can be in parentheses to the power of m. It doesn't matter. Most of the time I write it this way, but it doesn't matter which way you write it. So this is 3 different ways to write the same thing. Notice how you can have 5 squared underneath the 3rd root, 5 to the 2/3, or you can have the cube root of 5 and then square it. So it's just an order of operations. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. And then this is the same thing. 16 to the 5th, then the 4th root. 16 to the 5/4, the 4th root of 16 to the 5th power. So, 16 to the 1/2. First off, the square root. And since you know this is the square root, you put a 2 here, and you put a 16 here. Now, you don't have to put the 1, but just for practice, so we know what's happening, we're going to put the 1 there. So 16 to the 1, square root. Or square root to the 16 to the 1. Okay? First, put that radical thing there. Okay, just draw the radical. Now, we know the base is 4, so we put the 4 there. Now we just got to think about which number goes on the outside, which number goes on the inside. Go back to what you know. If you know 1/2 means square root, the denominator is the outside number. So this 3 goes out here, and this 4 goes there. Same thing, write your radical. Put the base. Bottom number out here, top number there. Write the radical. Write the base. Bottom number, top number. That's simple. Now, going the opposite way. Okay, look outside that radical. What number do we not have written there? No. 2. That's a square root. Remember, if it doesn't have a number there, it's a square root. Otherwise, it will have a 3 or a 4 or 5. But if there's no number, it's a 2. So get ahead and put that 2. Now, it's just 5 to the 3/2. And really, think about it this way. Just write 3 to the 5 like it is, and then just throw that 3 underneath. Okay? 2 to the, what is that, 5 or 3? 3. Thank you. I can see it here. So 2 to the 3, and then just throw that 4 underneath. 5 to the 4. Just write it, and throw the 3 underneath. That's how you do it. Now remember, this This is just the other way of writing the same thing. So, notice, these are exactly the same. So the answers are going to be exactly the same. Because this and this are the same thing, just written differently. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Right, and we just don't have the 2 here. It's just how we write the parentheses. They're the same thing. So this is going to be 5 to the 3/2. This is going to be 3 to the 5/3. This is going to be 2 to the 3/4. And this is going to be 5 to the, oh, this one's different, my bad. You catch it. This one is different. Sort of. Okay? Like, yeah, they're the same thing. This one's a little bit different. This is 5 to the 6/4. But remember, we always want to reduce fractions. So that's 3/2. So that one's different. But the other 3, exactly the same. Okay, so we're going to change this to a fraction. What number goes here? 2. What number goes here? 1. So this is going to be 1 over 4 to the 1/2. So Michael Jackson in here. Okay, so it's a base of 3, and the fraction is 3/2. And it's 1 over 6 to the, is that a 5? That's a 5. And then over 3. That's it. First off, negative means it goes down here, right? So first off, we go move it downstairs. Then we just rewrite it as right? Make sense?
Yeah.
And then what is the square root of 4? This is really just 1 over 2. You can do it with parentheses, you don't have to. You can do it either way. I don't care which way you do it. Whatever's comfortable for you. Okay, so where's this bad boy going first? Downstairs. So 3/2. Then put the 4. Okay, the 3 goes here, 2 goes there. Move it downstairs first. And first off, what is 4/2? So isn't this really just -2? Right? So that's just 1 over 5 squared. Right? So that's 1 over 25. And this one, 1 over 25 to 3/2, move downstairs first. And then 1 over 25 3/2.
Cool.
Now hold on. I want to show you these two special. These two are special. Because, look, can't you take the square root of 4? What is the square root of 4? So this is really 1 over 2 to the 3rd, right? And then what's 2 to the 3rd? It's 1 over 8. Now, listen please. If this number was 5 here, instead of 4, we'd stop right there. 5 to the 3/2 and so forth. But since we can simplify, we should go further. What's the square root of 25? So this is really 1 over 5 cubed, which is 1 over 125. It is cool.